Hello, this is Shane Spear. She's a man hater, so of course she has almost 800,000 subs. YouTube always backs bad people like this. Now, of course, she's not the only one who has this problem with this Manic Pixie Dream Girl trope, right? What is it about? It's about a woman caring for a man for himself. So it's a male fantasy. Our fantasies lady, what's your name? Shamespear? Shamespear. Our male fantasy is about a woman who cares for us as we are. And you have a problem with this, of course. Women despise male contentment. Of course, since you're a bad person, you can't find any shame in bashing this, but let's get into your hatred of us, right? Where is it? Where's it begin here? Here we are.
That most people don't actually know what a Manic Pixie Dream Girl is. Every woman, fictional or real, with colorful hair or wacky fashion, makes the list. Bonus points if she's quirky. While these assumptions are largely incomplete, they do have some truth to them. The pixie is like a novelty item.
What's important is that she cares for the man. Everything else is extra, right? But also she brings light into his life. She's an angel. That's what it's about. She's an angel ready to save his soul. Right.
Especially to the film's leading man. She has a whimsical lust for life that no one else on planet Earth seems to possess. Interstage left, the
Yeah, she isn't boring.
costuming department. The Pixie's fashion is painstakingly curated by writers and designers to convey her free-spiritedness. She wears clashing patterns, unique pieces, and
I actually find this trope really disgusting, though, because it shows female privilege, right? She can afford to live her life like this. She's got the world by the balls.
lots and lots of color. You can watch Modern Girls' video on the topic for more.
See, there's all kinds of women out there bashing this. It's about male contentment. You don't like male contentment. So it abounds on YouTube, right? I wish, hey, shame spear. I wish you had a life. I wish you had something better to do with yourself than bash men for being men.
Supposed to be able to look at the pixie and just know. That lady is the last lady on Earth with childlike wonder. She doesn't pay rent. She doesn't file taxes. She's just a girl, just...
Well, that is the woman's existence, though. You might have to pay taxes, lady, but what do women do? They shack up with a guy and let all the financial burdens on his shoulders, right? So it's close to the truth, isn't it?
A fantasy woman who sweeps in like a glittery breeze. At the turn of 2007, Nathan Rabin coined the term Manic Pixie Dream Girl in a review of Cameron Crowe's film Elizabethtown. The movie...
Just a minute, I just want to see, what's his name again? Nathan Rabin. I'll just check him out real quick. Okay, he has written about the LGBTQ. He's criticized its lack in comedy, so of course he's probably a gay man, and this explains his hostility towards us. I'm always shocked that guys who bang other guys despise them so much. I mean, the average gay man engages in hate fuck all the time. But anyway, let's continue.
Term Manic Pixie Dream Girl in a review of Cameron Crowe's film Elizabethtown. The movie, Rabin argued, is a bona fide fiasco.
There you go, see? This guy, he bangs other men, but he hates them. He hates male contentment. It isn't a fiasco. I saw that film, everyone. It was kind of boring, to be honest. Right? It's kind of boring, but it's not a fiasco.
I remember thinking, how bad can a Cameron Crowe movie be? He was then shot 87 times. Like all Pixie narratives, Elizabethtown is a deeply disturbed movie filled with deeply unserious characters. Drew is a shoe designer whose project single-handedly
Can I ask you something, Shakespeare? What's with all the cosplay? Not just by you, but all you girls. All you man bashers are heavy into cosplay. You either got a drink in your hand or you're dressed up.
Handedly tanks the company he works for. He becomes a pariah, even getting dumped by the baddest bitch this side of Iowa. In the aftermath, he conspires to take his own life.
So the guy is down, right? And this woman, who loves him for himself, swoops in to rescue him. This is bad, everybody, right?
But his plan for doing so is absurd. He empties his
And who cares? It doesn't matter if it's absurd. The point is he's trying to take his life. Let's get beyond this idiocy.
starts the plot. Who cares? I don't. On the way home to Kentucky, Drew meets Claire,
You care. You just went on how bad his attempt was.
played by Kirsten Dunst. Now, Claire is a flight attendant on the second plane headed straight to the tower of Nathan Raven's sanity. He writes, Dunst embodies a character type I like to call the Manic Pixie Dream Girl. She exists solely in the fevered imaginations of sensitive writer-directors to teach broodingly soulful young men to embrace life and its infinite...
Okay, Nathan Robin is full of shit. This is a dream, not a fever dream, a dream that men have of all classes, all races, of all ages, that a woman will care for you as a human being. So this guy's a liar. He's a typical man-hater.
mysteries and adventures. There's a special kind of frustration in watching Claire Colburn desert herself time and time again to appeal to the most milquetoast man on the planet. But
Who cares if he's milquetoast? That's no different from your fantasies, where the most plain-looking Jane is chased after by the most high-status man ever. Hey, look, I find that kind of contemptible too, Shakespeare. But the fact is, that's your female fantasy. You're allowed to have it. And we guys are allowed to have it. Now, when guys critique your bullshit, we might just mention that off topic, but we don't make whole videos bashing what you like. I'm the only one who's ever done it, and that's because you gals attack us relentlessly. So I'm fighting back.
that's what Manic Pixie Dream Girls do. Men are their center, their universe. Everything Claire needs in life, she
No,
gives.
this is bullshit. When the angel Gabriel shows up, that's like saying, hey, this angel that came to rescue us, mere mortals, he's centering his whole life around us. You know, he doesn't have any identity of his own. Lady, he's the rescuer. And that's what she is. She's an angel.
From Drew. If he doesn't breathe, she has no oxygen.
Bullshit.
If he doesn't sleep, she has no dreams. Her
Bullshit again. This woman's just a bloody liar. You feminists can't speak truth. It's painful. If you spoke a true sentence, you would wince in pain.
character is a map he traces the markings of, only to explore himself. Maps don't have thoughts or opinions or desires. Maps guide.
I watched this movie lady. She was her own person, right? And again, she's taken the place of the angel, and angels do guide. When you have stories with angels involving, coming down to rescue you for whatever trouble you're in, you don't say, oh, this angel is, they're not their own person and I don't care about them and the story of, no, the angels are about the periphery. The guy is the center of the movie. You have to overcome your hatred of us. The guy is the center.
Maps sit quietly in the glove box awaiting instruction. In the span of 123 minutes, we learn nothing.
Oh, by the way, again, I saw this movie and I kind of find them contemptible too, because guys have to overcome this desire, this fantasy that some woman's going to come save you. right? I mean, did you ever hear the Jim Croce song, Operator? Where he's basically singing about how, this guy was trying to get a hold of this ex that dumped him, right? And he even sings about the love that will I thought would save me. Guys in the comment section even pointed that out. Guys get together with women hoping that the woman will love them for themselves and they'll feel complete. And the song proves that that doesn't happen, right? Anyway, let's continue bashing men.
Learn nothing about Claire besides what we learn in relation to Drew. She loves
Again, we don't need to know anything about Claire. What do we know about the angel Gabriel or the angel Michael? What do we know about them? We just know that they're angels and they come from heaven and they're here to help us. And you're fine with that, shame spear. You're fine with that. So the only difference here is that you hate the fact that men have a fantasy where that we will be rescued. We're not we're not worthy to be rescued according to you. This shows you your complete hatred. Our undeserved hatred from people like you.
helping. True, she might have a boyfriend, which sucks for Drew. Everything about her is a mirage, a specter.
Not a mirage. We just don't need to know anything about her.
Projected onto water who disappears at the slightest disturbance. The Manic Pixie Dream.
Well, it's about his journey, right? If she just came out and said, I like you and I want to marry you, then the story would be over, right?
Girl is a particular male fantasy of being saved from depression and ennui by a fantasy woman who sweeps in like a glittery breeze to save you from yourself, then disappears once her work is done.
So he doesn't get the girl then. So she's not that much of a fantasy then. A true fantasy girl would stay with him forever and say, I'm here with you. Right? It's like if you girls had a fantasy where the angel Gabriel or Michael decided to marry you. Right? Now, where am I? Here. These are romance covers by Kathleen Morgan. Do you see this one? There's the woman who's center stage, and this Uber male, you don't see his face on the cover. This one right here, right? Why don't we see his face? Because it's all about the woman. These are your fantasies, and you have to own them. How dare you bitch about guys having a fantasy about a woman centering herself around us when that's all your fantasies are.
For example, just one extremely long phone call montage with Claire cures Drew. He no longer wants to sit on his stabby chair of doom. Claire is...
Well, there you go. Exactly. He was rescued, wasn't he? Yeah. A woman, and you know something? This woman didn't do shit, by the way, other than show him compassion. I mean, men don't desire much, do we? It's not much of a fantasy. She just talks to him and shows him compassion, and that saves him, right? She didn't actually sacrifice anything of herself, did she? She didn't have to commit, like you gals say, put a ring on it, right? So your issue is that because men find contentment in this fantasy, you hate it even though in the fantasy it's very weak. The woman's offering nothing really.
So good at her job, in fact, that by fixing Drew, she inadvertently gives him the tools to fix everything around him, including the huge plot conflict that started before she was introduced.
Okay, so what's your problem with that? This is 100% positive. So the only negative that you would have, you evil person, is that men are finding contentment in the fantasy. How do people like you exist anyway? How do you get on with your lives? If men disappeared tomorrow and we weren't there for you to hate on, you would implode. You would have no reason to exist. We are your reason to exist. Without us, you've got nothing. You are nothing. I always wondered what it'd be like to be an empty shell, to be so soulless. Now, I don't know if I'm going to put you guys through any more of this. This is a very long video, overly long. Yeah. Okay, as painful as this is, we will continue.
But listen, and we have to be quiet because if we're too loud, we might alert the men about our autonomy. And then
You don't have autonomy, lady. Your so-called autonomy rests on our shoulders. That's why you're able to make these cringy videos in this comfortable environment that you live in.
they'll beat it out of us via cringe and humiliation.
Well, it's a little late for that. Your whole presentation is cringe.
Claire is so undeveloped as a character that she could be anyone. She could be ripped from the fabric of the movie entirely and replaced with a light pole, and the movie would go on unaffected.
No, because men worship women. You couldn't put a man in her place, even though by rights we should be able to, but it wouldn't be attractive to men. And again, you should keep your mouth shut. You women are the last people, the last gender to actually talk about someone being a light pole. What's this guy here? You don't even see his face.
Not watching two people experience life and fall in love with each other. You're watching.
She already has her own life, dipshit. She actually doesn't revolve around him, like you claim. If she did, she'd get together with him.
A man have a delusionationship with a mannequin and calling it romance.
No. He has a relationship with a real life woman, and he didn't commit to her, and that's your real issue here. And the truth be told, though, your real issue is male contentment. So if she did commit to this guy, if he committed to her and they became a couple, you'd still have a problem with that.
If I watched Elizabethtown on a dull January day in 2007, I too would invent new language to hate on it more efficiently.
There you go. There you go. You're just a hater. Right?
Say Drake, I hate you like I'm young.
1, 2,
Now, don't care about Nathan Lane. He's an utter scum.
3.
More complex and substantial than
Nathan Lane, what he is he's a woman worshiper, even though he bangs men, and he's willing to trash men. That's all he is. He's willing to trash men to try and placate and pander to his female betters. That's all you are, you gay men. You're just guys who see women as better than you. Right?
1, 2, 3, 4.
No, I'm getting past that. This wasn't a male fantasy. This guy got nothing in that film that you're about to show. So I'm getting past that. Like I said, do I really need to go any further? This awful person. You're an awful person. You're also soulless and empty. What's your name? Shakespeare? You're soulless and empty. Without us to hate on, you have nothing. You have no purpose in life. And there's a lot of you. Because, like, again, you've got 790,000 subs, right? So there's almost 1 million soulless, empty women that have no purpose in life other than to bash men. Okay. What's this? He's going to show some black women now? Okay, let's get into this.
intelligence. Pudge is curious about what she has to say. It sounds like a romantic endeavor to humanize the people we love, like we care about the pixie's interests and whims. But really, we're looking at her the same way we look at a self-help book or a wild animal who just
No, no,
stumbles
not a wild animal, you lying sack. As an angel. Angels are above humanity. They're coming down here to rescue us. That's how men see these pixie girls. So you are a liar, as usual, right? Hate mongers like you can never tell the truth.
into the street. What will she do for me? What will she do to me?
Yeah. Okay, what does the angel do to you? For you, right? That's how religious people see angels, right? Angels, they're in their own heaven and they don't show up until we're in need of help, right? Oh, here we are. She's a racist as well. Thank you for admitting
I'll
that.
take card here. The Manic Pixie Dream Girl is pop culture's covert investment in whiteness. The narrative landscape that the pixie populates is
There you go, guys. You see, this woman already has the ultimate card, the woman card. But it's not good enough. She's got to be top woman. This is her issue. She's not top woman. She's above all you. You know what this is? This is a human version of a hyena. Hyenas have matriarchies, right? Every male hyena is beneath every female hyena. But still, there's a hierarchy with the females and they fight. So she's not top hyena. That's what this issue is.
defined by white normativity. That is, boring American suburbs and middle to upper class
I'm glad I did looked at this, right? I was about to skip over all this. You feminist, you're homophobes, you're racist, you're sexist, you're everything bad.
tedium. Pixies and their peers are largely white. Their misogynistic writing is reminiscent of traditional
Oh, I see. So you're trying to put your racism onto us guys. Sorry, Uno reverse.
conservative gender roles. Women, white women especially,
Gender roles are enforced by you gals. Fact. It's us men who want to break out of gender roles. Why do you think that young fellow was trying to kill himself right at the beginning? Because he was rejected. He couldn't make it as a male provider, worker drone. We're the ones who want to break gender roles. Your gender is the one that wants to keep us in them.
living to serve their husband and home. When people
Bullshit. It's the other way around.
of color are featured in these narratives, they are sidekicks. And, all of that is fine. Whatever. Who cares? I don't.
You care deeply, right? This is a male fantasy where men find contentment. You care. You want to destroy it.
I don't expect my local misogynistic film trope to be diverse or woke. If it was,
You mean feminist, right? Feminism isn't diverse, though, lady. The suffragettes joined the KKK. They hate your race. But they'll see you as female first. So you're immune. It's only your black men that will suffer.
it would no longer be my local misogynistic film trope. But I still like
Misogyny doesn't work, you lowlife. Misogyny doesn't exist. Only misandry. You don't have whole-length videos of men bashing female fantasies. Again, I'm the only one, and that's only because I'm fighting fire with fire. But you and yours abound on YouTube, where I'm a unique animal by comparison. And again, mine's only reactionary. Men don't do what you do. Men are above you.
waxing poetic about the implication.
All right, enough of this. Enough of this. I called this woman out. Oh, welfare cleans. Maybe I will stick to this. Sorry, I gotta.
Clothing leads to a host of class assumptions. Manic Pixie Dream Girls reinforce the norm of whiteness while pretending to embody difference. It reminds me of the femme cannibal trend we covered in the last chapter. Tasked with imagining a revolutionary character, writers and audiences alike often reach for the safest option, a privileged white woman. The thing is, though,
Unlike you, like your whole setting says privilege. So again, your only issue with this is that your race isn't top dog. You aren't top dog.
marginalized women share a lot in common
So you can't compete with white women, and therefore we men have to be blamed somehow. Right.
with the Manic Pixie Dream Girl. Even though their characters are rarely labeled as such, they're often written using the same formula. Race, class, and sexuality all impact a character's to-be-looked-atness. These identities become sexual objects.
Yeah, class. Look at how you're dressed. Are you dressed like the ghetto? No. You're dressed upper class. So you want it as well.
For the voyeur's visual pleasure. Take the black Jezebel stereotype, or the promiscuous working class woman, or the lesbian whose identity is perverted on screen for the pleasure of men. Like the
Bullshit. Lesbians aren't, that's not done to lesbian. You're just another liar. Just another of your many lies. In other words, if there's a lesbian that's attractive to men, that bothers you, right? Because she's bringing male contentment.
Pixie, these identities face a sudden disappearance when they no longer gratify the gaze. Linda Ditmar argues that mainstream culture would
Yeah, well, that's our fantasy. We want a beautiful woman. Who are you to say otherwise? Your fantasies have nothing but good-looking men. If you're against this, which you aren't, you would date a short man. You would find an ugly, unemployed guy who's like 5'5". But you don't. So who are you to complain about any of this?
have you believe just about all women are white. They are rarely old or even middle-aged, and they are all conventionally beautiful.
Yeah, that's our fantasy. So what? Right. But you want it too. In your fantasies, okay, let's bring up these. How many of these women are ugly or middle-aged? These covers show women written by women for women. We men aren't involved whatsoever. So it's all right for your fantasy to have all these tropes, but we can't have ours.
About none loves a member of their own gender. Even friendships among women are rare and unimportant. This is erasure in action. In mainstream media, emphasis on mainstream media. In mainstream media, black women are often reduced to stereotypes. We're the funny sidekick or the no-nonsense
What, you didn't have female writers to take care of this? Or is it because they're white female writers who do this to you? So you're trying to bring up this race issue, but you still want to bash men for it. Again, this is just you upset that you're not top dog.
rolling best friend. Colorism in, black productions often see black women, especially dark-skinned black women, being the butt of the joke or the angry
Well, you're not dark skinned, you're fairly light. So what's your issue with that?
person or, etc., etc. Our only purpose in largely white narratives is to problem solve for the much more desirable, much more centered white cast. Queer people have faced a similar fate. A 30-year-long production code in the 20th century forbade the inclusion of sex perversion, leading writer-directors to
Well, it doesn't stop your gay friend there from bashing his fellow man, does it? Anyway, now I can finally say, yeah, we've gotten past this. Enough of this foolishness. Enough of this awful person. Again, I'm going to end off saying this. Oh my God. Can we get a non-blurred face? Okay, there you are. What's your name again? Shamespeare. Shamespeare. You're just a off the rack man hater. There's nothing special about you. You're empty. Without us to hate, you would have no purpose in life. You'd have no reason to exist. Without men, you are nothing. You know, men, we have mental landscapes. When you gals aren't around, we have so much to think about and talk about. You have nothing. So you are nothing. You're empty. Always wondered what it's like to just be an empty shell.